All right, welcome back everyone. We are now on page 2 of the Authentic Masquerade album. So I have some flaps for you to cut. Let's get started. We have 2 A flaps. So that's 6 7/8 by 4.5. And just again, the 6 7/8 is 2 lines before 7. B, 6 7/8 by 4. C is 6 7/8 by 4 1/8, and that's just 2 lines after 4. D is 4.5 by 3.5. E is 5 by 3.5. F is 4.5 by 3 1/8, so that's 2 lines after 3. And there are 2 F's actually, 2 F's. So get those all cut and then unpause and we'll score them together. All right, so I'm going to bring out the scoreboard. Okay, so let's start with A. Okay, we have 2 A flaps and we are going to score them with the 4.5 inch side facing the top. Okay, B, we're going to have the 4 inch side facing the top. C, the 4 1/8 is facing the top. Oop, did it move a little on me? Let me see. Okay. D. D is going to have, it's going to be a small pocket. So we want the 4.5 inch side facing the top because that's going to be the part that's open. It's a little baby pocket. All right. E is another pocket, and I'm going to have the 5 inch side facing the top. Let me go here real quick. No, I want to have, well, let me check this out real quick. Let's have the 5 inch side. I have that wrong on the cut list, so I will change that. Okay, our F's, these are little flaps, so we're going to have the 4.5 inch side facing the top. Okay, let me just check one thing. All right, so let's put this away and let's bring out our 3/8 inch tape and get all these flaps taped up. And it wouldn't hurt for you to just take a little pencil and mark each of these A, B, C, D, because these two pockets are very close in size, but one is a little off. So it'll be helpful to know which goes on which side. So you don't have to write the measurements all on your flaps, but just the letters would help. Okay, and the tape is going with the mountain side of the score line, which is on my textured side, if you're using textured paper. And then we will press these all down and fold them. Okay. Okay, so the pockets, I'll cut them before I fold. Okay, and go up here and turn out. Okay, I like to clean up as I go along. All right, so let's bring out our second page. I've got my number 2 up here, and let's bring out the A flaps. Okay, so there's 2 right flaps. So let me just, hold on one second. Let me just check to make sure. All right, so I'm gonna do the right-hand side first. All right, so what I wanna do, I've got both of these. One is gonna go in the middle here, and the other one on the end. So we're gonna have it like that. All right, so let's go ahead and put down the first one. I'm going to turn here's my number 2. I'm going to turn it so this is the right hand side facing me. And we'll put this one down first. So I've got it lined up so that there's just a 1/16 of an inch on top and bottom, and I'm going to make it flush to the edge. All right. Now the second one is going to go in the middle, but I'm using my right hand flap as a guide, and I'm going to take this flap and just put it close to this fold line, not upright to it, but pretty darn close, within the 1/16 of an inch. Okay, so this side I'm gonna, it's not taped, I can move it around. I'm gonna look here, and I've got it just a sliver right before this fold line. And I just have a little sliver on the top and bottom. And then I will tuck this over and just lay it down right in the middle. It winds up being in the middle of the page. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so the B flap, B and C. So let's do B first. B goes, losing my voice, B goes on the left-hand side. Before I lay this down, I just want to dry fit it and make sure. So I'm going to put that there. This one is going to go in the middle here and land just before the B. So it'll be like this. Okay, so that looks like it fits. Let's put down B. And that goes right to the edge. There will be, you just have your little bit of sliver on the top and bottom, like your 1/16 of an inch. But there will be a little bit showing right here. But that's okay, that's what we want. Okay, now let me just make sure before I take my tape off. If I put this C flap right in the middle, it butts right up against here. There needs to be a little bit before this fold line, and there is on mine. If there isn't on yours, it might be because this maybe needs to be over more. No worries, it is not worth picking this up. If you put yours down here and you notice that it goes over this fold line, just cut a little sliver off of here. That's fine. The way I did it, I measured it out, and it winds up landing right before this fold, and that gives me room to close this flap. If yours doesn't, just take a little sliver off. This is supposed to be a stress-free zone. Crafting gets your mind off of stress. I don't want to cause you any stress. Okay, so here we go. We have a little bit showing on the top and bottom, and it winds up butting right up against this flap right here. Whoop. I've got to move it down just a smidge. And when you're happy with that, press it down. There we go. So this part goes under, this goes over, and this comes right to the end. Okay, so now for the pockets. So let's get D and E. D is the smaller, I believe goes on the left-hand side. I'm just going to place it here, line it up. This fold line falls within this fold, so it fits. So once I'm happy that it fits, I'm going to take off my bottom piece. And put it right in here. And use my thumbs to bring it right to the bottom of the page. And there. I'm going to leave my tape backing on here so that I can have room to put in my design paper behind there, and then I'll just peel it off. So that looks nice. Okay, this side. Again, I want to take this and just make sure it fits in here, because now is the time to make any changes. If it doesn't quite fit, if this score line goes over this score line, you can just rescore one a little closer in. This looks like it fits. So I'm going to fold it over and just take off the bottom. Okay. give myself a little bit of room on each side. So I'm just a little bit inside of that score line on each side. And just test it out. Make sure that this fits. And they can all fold over, so that's good. Press that down. Okay, not so bad. These two flaps, your F flaps, will go on top of here after you put your design paper. Then you can take these and put them right on top here. And it will have a magnet here and here. So in order to do that, what you kind of have to do is you have to put a magnet where you want it first. And then when this is decorated and you put this on top, you'll know where to put it because you'll stick the magnet down, and then when you got your magnet here, then you stick your sticky down. Okay, does that make sense? I'll walk you through it real quick right now. So let's take our small magnets and let's see. Let's put, oh, 3 flew out at me. Okay, so I'm gonna take each F flap and put a magnet right at the bottom. Tape this on here. Okay, so let's take the other magnet, the opposite pole, and I am not going to stick this flap down, but I'm just going to take the backs off of this magnet. And what you do is you take it where you think you want to put it. I'm going to be putting it right here and line it up left and right. And when you're happy with the placement of this, you just press down. Okay? So this is going to be down. Then I would cover this with my design paper. And after I cover this, I can take this, it'll stick down, and then I'll peel off the back here and just stick that to the design paper, okay? And then I'll have a flap here. All right, so this is done. I'm going to set it aside. Let's do the same thing to the other side. So I'm going to put it, let me just put this here. And I'm going to line it up so it's right across from this one. Let me see if I'm happy with that. Looks good. And then I can tape that down. Okay. That's how that's going to look. But I'm just going to hold these aside until I get my design paper. Okay, so these are the flaps for the top. You can decide if you want to corner round them or not. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave these squared off, but corner around the inside. And that way I'll always know what goes in first. So I'm going to corner around just the inside flaps. It is up to you. You can corner around the outside and the inside. Then I'm going to come around this one. So now I know this is my inside flap. Okay, so I'm going to put a magnet here, which will land just above this pocket. Where'd my magnets go? Okay. You do wind up using quite a bit of magnets. Okay, I want mine to go above the pocket, so I'll follow it right to about here. Okay, so the inside ones are just going to have one in the middle, and that is not absolutely necessary because this top one will be holding it down. I just like to do that. So this top one, if I put one in the middle, I run the risk of these sides flipping up. It's up to you. I like to, especially this is going to be on the inside of our book, I like these corners to lay down so they don't get frayed. So I'm going to put two top and bottom here. If you want to try to conserve magnets, you can try and see how it would do in the middle and see if it lays down. But a lot of times the ends they curl up. So I'm going to go ahead and close this down with two magnets. Okay, I love that sound. Okay. Okay, and let's do the same thing to this side. So I'll put one on in the middle here. Okay, so I want it to land right around here. Okay, and now two there. I'm going to need another pack of magnets. this I use 1/4 inch tape to hold down the magnets. But some people do use the wider tape because then you don't see the edges of the magnet. I don't really notice that's a problem, but you can use any width tape. It just makes sure that magnet is held down and never comes loose and rattles around your book for the rest of eternity. Plus it helps the design paper stay down too. And you know it's just not going anywhere. Press that down. And I believe that's it. So there we have it. I will just leave these here for when I'm ready to decorate. And I will show you what I did so you don't have to turn back to the walkthrough. Okay, so page 2. Here we go. So these are my 2 favorite tags with the people with the masquerades. I just think they're really nice. And when I flip them up, I use the same paper. And I also put a paper here. And it just looks nice. So I used bat paper over here and over here. This came from my extra Halloween mat. These are from the Masquerade. When I open this up, this is from the Masquerade pack. And I just put a little photo mat in here. This is from the Masquerade pack. And you could put other things in too. This would probably fit a tag. And there we have it. And here I used bat paper. This was from the Masquerade pack. This was from my filler pack. Masquerade right there, right here. So yeah, there we go. We have 2 nice pockets, and it's just a little different to do this split in the middle kind of flip and flap. So the pullout for this, I used bat paper and then green. And I made this color blocked and split because these are. So it went. It looks nice. And that is it. So we're on to page 3 in the next video, and I will see you soon.